Hello, Ducks fans. Welcome to another episode of the Quack Report, the free agency episode. What's up?
I just see what you have up already, and I know exactly what this is.
Oh, do you?
I do.
Yeah, it's for What's Quack, and I came across it today and forgot I had it. So it's but so for everybody that's listening to this, you're gonna have to wait until the end of the episode.
If you want the long tease, there you go.
Yeah, exactly. Gonna have to wait. If I'm being generous, an hour. If I'm being realistic, an hour and a half, 2 hours to wait.
We're gonna have some good talk here, is the hope.
Oh yeah, oh for sure. Yeah, we've got lots of stuff. We're gonna start with some Ducks news. We're gonna start with Ducks free agency, and then we'll kind of broaden out into general free agency talk because there was some wild stuff that happened on first couple days. Actually, really just the first day. I can't even think of anything that happened like on the Thursday. Yesterday.
Yeah, nothing. I mean, I'd have to go look and. I don't have that anymore. Yeah, no, I had a thing that had like every transaction for each day, and I gotta find it again.
Oh yeah. I think most of it was Wednesday or like late Wednesday night. But
a lot of the bigger deals were at least on Wednesday, but yeah.
The only one I can think of for Thursday was the Andre Palat deal. That's like the only one I really cared about.
Yeah, Andre Palat. I'm just trying to see if any names really stick out. Yeah, that's the only one I'm really seeing.
Yeah, everything else
moment. So
smaller,
yeah,
but there's still some big free agents on the board. It's
actually,
like
there
disappeared. So.
Yeah, there is one more, but we'll get into it later because I do want to talk about this team and this player a little bit more specifically.
Okay,
the team more than anything. So we'll get into it.
Sounds good. Hey, Lauren, how's it going? Quack to you as well. I'm gonna save one of your comments here for a little bit later, but yeah, I guess when was our last episode? It was last Saturday, so.
Yeah,
it's been about a week. Yeah, how's your week been, Nate?
It's been all right. I've been acting manager, I guess, at the place that I work. Nice. My boss has been ill, unfortunately, all week. But yeah, no, it's been all right. Otherwise, my shoulder's not super fucked anymore, so I've gone to the gym to lift weights for the first time in like 3.5 months.
That's good.
That's been fantastic. That was really fun. I went to go do like it was my shoulder was all messed up. There was at one point I could barely like lift my arm in front of me. It was like, I mean, like you saw how messed up it was sometimes. Mm-hmm. And but yeah, so I was going to do like a shoulder press for the first time, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do like the minimum weight. I said for everything, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do the minimum weight that like I was doing before for like all my sets kind of thing. And so I was like, okay, like I'm kind of psyching myself up, right? You get yourself going like, okay, it's a lightweight. Like you got this. And I pushed up and I was like, holy shit, that is light actually. So I was very happy. I think I only dropped maybe about 10 pounds off of that. So I was very happy about that actually. Nice. But the next day I was definitely extremely sore though. Not having lifted like that in a while, but yeah, I mean, that was a positive. So I'll ask how your week was right now, and then I got a story for you from last week because we didn't really talk. Like we didn't really do the intro or that.
Yeah, we didn't. We just kind of jumped into things with Shane.
Yeah. With Shane, yeah. So, but yeah. So how was your week? You said that you got a new job. So how was that?
Yeah, no, it was good. It's a job. So
fair enough.
And yeah, and I was puppy sitting last weekend. Again, we totally didn't.
Oh yeah, right.
Jump into that. So that's why I was in a new place and just like had to peace out a couple times to.
Yeah, if you were watching us on YouTube or Twitch and you noticed like Carter just fuck off for a second, it was because he was going to let the dog out.
Yeah, she's got a little bell that like hangs on the door so that like.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so she just like nudges that when she wants to go outside. And before I hopped on, I was like, you got to go outside. And I like opened the door and she just like looked at me like I was an idiot. And I was like, okay, fine, whatever. Literally 7 minutes into the episode when we started recording with Shane, I could hear her just like ramming the bell. I don't think it really showed up on the episode, but yeah.
It's purely just like a kid, right? You're getting ready for a massive road trip. Okay, you got to go to the bathroom. No. Okay, well, how about we try? No, I'm fine. You're not even on the highway yet.
Yeah.
Oh, Dad, I got to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, like, exactly.
Oh my God. You're pulling off at the corner store or whatever. All right, get inside quickly, or you're going to the Walmart quick or something like that, like on your way out of town.
Yeah, exactly. So
and don't think that anybody is innocent of that. We all did it at least once in our lives to our parents. None of us are innocent.
Yeah, I know you have a story, but I have a quick one that's very
Go
related to
for it.
that.
Go for
So,
it.
back when the Canadian dollar, or I guess the Canadian dollar was like very good. This was like years, like 10 years ago,
Yeah.
to the point where like it was actually cheaper because we live like not far from the border. Like what is it, like an hour and a half from our
Yeah, it's
hometown to the
maybe an
border?
hour. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was at the point where it was actually cheaper to drive down to the States, down to Montana, and get your groceries there and then
Yeah.
drive it back. There was a point in time where that was the case.
It was
So
a
my
great
parents and I,
time.
it was great. It was fantastic because then you got like all like the weird chip and pop flavors like as a
Yeah.
kid.
It was awesome
So
for back to school shopping.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that too. If you're a nerd,
Hey, I got some good stuff. It's fine.
yeah, you're the freshest looking guy in
Exactly.
grade 4 or whatever it was.
I think that was a little bit later than that, but
Might
anyway.
have been. Anyways, so we went down there for like a day trip and did
Yeah.
some shopping around there. Parents asked before we leave Montana, like, hey, you got to go to the bathroom,
Yeah.
like, because there's nothing between here and the border, like nothing at all.
Yeah.
Like we went, it was the very first town, and then hour and a half away is the border. So if you got to go, you got like, that's it.
You got now to go. So
Yeah, exactly.
or
Like,
on the side of the road in the bush.
yeah, exactly. Like those are the only options. We get about half an hour out of town, and I got the biggest shit of my life brewing. And I was like, we got to go. Actually, I remember it was when we went to pick up our trailer, when my parents went to get their trailer. So this was actually probably like grade 8 or 9. So however old you are there, like 14.
Yeah,
Maybe.
something about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Ish, give or take a couple
Or
of years.
grade 8 or 9, you said?
Maybe. I don't, I'm,
Like
I'm ballparking.
It'd be like
it, so,
14 or 15. Yeah, anyway.
yeah. Around 14. 12
Yeah.
to 6. No.
You're at least
16 's too old,
you're
but-
at least a teenager and you got some attitude at that point.
Yeah, exactly. So my parents were like, okay, fine. Like, we'll pull over and you can go in the trailer because we have it. Like, why not?
Yeah.
And they go, and there's nothing. There's no like Kleenex. There's no like toilet paper. That like they have nothing. So it's like you got to go, but like you can't do anything. So I was like, okay, no, I'll hold it. I can wait. Like, how far are we from the border? And then my dad was like, if I really test out this truck with the trailer, we got like 45 minutes. And then by the time we get to the border, I'm like in pain, like cramps. I'm like hunched over in the back seat, like just head down. As soon as we pull into the border control and the guy like comes up, my parents like, because there's one of those like truck doors where you have to open one and then the other one opens the other way.
Oh, yeah.
My mom throws open the door as the guy's coming, and he's like, ma'am, you need to stay in the vehicle like until I ask you to leave. And like, and then I'm opening my door at the same time, and I look at him and I was like, sir, I have to go to the bathroom so bad. And he could like feel the pain in my eyes, and he was like, that way around the corner of the building and on your left. And he's like, door code is this. And I was like, thank you so much. And I'm just like, I just like run the whole way there. So
that border security guard learned very quickly, like before even checking any papers or that you in the back seat of that car with that shit that was coming out of your ass was going to be the national security threat unless he let you go.
Yeah, exactly. So bless that Canadian border patrol guard, but that's my story related to that.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Anyways, you have a story not related to poop, or maybe it is related to poop. I don't know.
No, it's not related to poop, but it is related to kids. So
Okay.
the place I work at, like we have like a store and everything like that attached. And so I get this call, and I'm normally the first ones to answer the phone. So pick it up, like, hi, this is Nate at so and so. Like, how can I help you? And there's a lady on the other line. She goes, can I speak to your manager? And like first thing I'm thinking of is, oh fuck. All right. And I'm like, yeah, what's this in regards to? Just before I like pass it on to my boss kind of thing, right? Or like if it's something I can handle or whatever. And she goes, well, my son stole something from your store and he'd like to talk to somebody of apologizing and how we can make this up. And I'm like, oh, okay, we got an angry mom here.
That's not angry at you. So that's
that's
okay.
angry at her kid here. And I'm like, okay, give me just a second and I'll see if I can find somebody. And so I'm like, can I put you on hold? And she's like, yeah, that's fine. And so I put her on hold and I go and talk to my boss quick. And I'm like, hey, so we have a mom whose, son stole something and they'd like to talk to somebody. And she's like, okay, well, like you can handle it. Like I trust you to do it. Just remember, you know, like you can like say like thank you for being honest with us and everything like that. Kind of like, you know, make it that it's good that he's apologizing, but also like kind of try to drive home to this kid that at the same time, you know, it's not good to steal, right? Like kind of give him a
Yeah.
lecture, like a bit of a lesson here.
Mhm.
And I'm like, yeah, that's like that's fine. You know, I've done like summer camps for 3 years, like as a leader, and I've refed sports for 10 years, right? Like it's not anything new to me. So I'm like, yeah, that's fine. And she's like, you got to keep a straight face, and like you can't be snake. I'm like, yeah, I'll be
Mhm.
fine with it. I'll be fine. And so I hop back on the phone. I'm like, hi, are you still there? And the mom goes, yep. I go, okay, well, I can speak to your son. And she goes, okay, I'm gonna put you on speakerphone here. And so you can kind of tell that it goes on speaker, and you hear the mom like, okay, like you can talk now. And like right as the kid starts talking, he's starting to tear up and choke up a little bit. You can hear on the other
Mhm.
line.
Yeah.
Hi, but my my name is Nate. And I'm like, oh no. He's got the same. And I'm like, I'm already trying to hold it together. I'm like, oh no. And I'm 8 years old. And I'm like, oh my God. Okay. We're giving it to an 8-year-old. I'm expecting like a 13 or 14-year-old. It's like
Yeah.
we're going
Right.
into this. And I'm like, oh man. And so this kid like gets through that, you know, he's sorry and for what he did and everything like that. And I'm just like thank you for being honest. We really appreciate it. But and like, you know, kind of give him the whole thing of like, you know,
Mhm.
if everybody took something that was maybe like $5 or something like that from the store, right? Like eventually we would like the place I work at would run out of money, and because it is a local place that I work at, like it's
Mhm.
not a big corporation or anything like that. I'm like, we would run out of money. We wouldn't be able to do this or this, and we wouldn't have a thing and whatever. And just, you know, giving him that lecture and but like being, you know, like thank you for being honest with me.
Mhm.
And so the mom comes back on the line, and like I'm like, oh my God, like the kid's name is Nate. I'm just stuck on that point here because I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm talking to a younger version of myself basically. And and like the mom's like, yeah, and we're, you know, like we're gonna make this right. We're gonna mail back to you you know, what he took and everything like that. Like we're gonna do it today. And little Nate here is also gonna be doing some volunteer hours to make up for it as well. And I'm like, all right, like yeah, thank you for very much for giving us a call on that. And I hang up, and my boss just goes, okay, I heard Nate, and I thought you were talking to the third person for a second, and then I realized, and we both just started laughing about it. I'm
That's
like,
good.
oh my God. So yeah, I gave younger me a lecture apparently. So
Nice.
on the do's and don'ts, or I guess on the don'ts of stealing. Don't
Yeah.
steal,
The
kids.
the
Don't
do's of
steal,
stealing
kids.
and the don'ts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't steal.
Yeah. I was like, I hope you didn't say that there was times where you could steal and it was okay.
No, 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 not at all. And then I think I think it was like earlier this week. We kind of realized that there was something like our inventory was off by one, and there wasn't many of this item.
Mhm.
And we realized it was the display piece that was gone. And and we kind of pieced together like, I think this is what the kid took. And we were like, okay, one, he managed that, and it's literally right in front of the like the till almost. We're like,
Mhm.
okay, so he had to have taken it when it was like busy or something like that. And we were like,
Yeah.
and also though, that's what he went for? Okay. We are just kind of like perplexed by what it was. So
Yeah.
I was just
I
like,
mean,
oh man.
if they're sending it back, then I guess like you'll find out
For
eventually
sure,
what it actually
yeah.
was.
No, I thought it was gonna get here this week, but not yet. So, but I'll let you know at least when it comes back
Yeah.
and whatever, and like I can let you know. I'm trying not to give away so much of like where I work or that kind of
Yeah.
thing,
No, that's fair. Yeah.
but I was just like, oh man, like, yeah, just him saying that his name was Nate. I'm like, okay, I'm trying to hold it together here. So,
Yeah, that's good.
oh
That's good.
yeah, that was good.
Uh, well,
Oh,
now that story time is over
yeah,
here, how about we get into a little bit of Ducks news?
yeah, let's do it. We haven't had this in a while.
Yeah. Oh no.
All right.
Why did none of these work again? What's going on? Whatever.
Okay, we'll fix it before you send it to me. This,
No,
this is gonna be,
I'll
this
send
is
it to
the
you
new
tomorrow.
running.
You fix it.
Yeah, I fix it. Yeah, this is the new running joke now. It's just like, yeah, Carter still hasn't sent me this sound file yet.
Yeah, and now it's broken. So
Now it's broken. He's just making sure I can't ever have it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, joke's on you. I just unplugged the keyboard. So no, I don't know. I think I just got to start from scratch because it's
fair enough.
Yeah, I have no idea. Anyways, Ducks signed a couple coaches here. Nate, do you want to take the reins on this one since I didn't hear about this?
Sounds good. Oh my God. I clicked on something and I lost the article. Where is it here now?
Oh God, we're just a disaster. Hey.
Yeah, it's just a disaster here. It's all good.
199 episodes and we can't even figure it out.
Yeah, apparently not. Oh my God. Where did this go? Why? Bear with me here, everybody. Okay, you know what? I'm just clicking the link. Where's the link? Because this is why I put the links in our outlines.
For when we fuck up.
Yeah. Just in case this happens, pretty much.
Yeah.
All right. So the Ducks have named Craig Johnson the new assistant coach. That is after Jeff Ward, remember, left a few months ago just due to personal reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Johnson spent the last 4 years with the LA Kings organization, where he's an assistant coach for the Ontario Reign. So a promotion for him, like quite a bit, actually.
Yeah. Nice. A little insider knowledge, too, coming from just down the highway there.
Yeah, exactly. And Johnson also served as the head coach for that is a name, Santa Margarita Catholic High School in the Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League from 2011 to 2020, leading the team to 3 national titles in 2013, 18, and 19.
And 3 titles in 9 years. That's pretty good.
And in 15 and 17, the team was a finalist in the national championship. Yeah, I got to be saying that right. Please pull up this article and tell me that I'm saying margarita correctly here. It looks like margarita.
Where is that's it in the article here?
Like looking like the 3rd paragraph, first line.
3rd paragraph, first line. Looks like margarita to me.
Okay.
Margarita to me, yeah.
Because sometimes I do just read a word super fast and I'm like, oh, okay, that's not actually even close to the word.
It starts with an M and I'm thirsty, so it must be
margarita. That's a hell of a name. That is a hell of a name for a high school, but a Catholic high school.
Yeah, right.
There's got to be, something behind that. That's not, about the drink. There's got to be. So Santa Margarita is California's only U.S. hockey national varsity champion. He also serves as the director of coaching for the Anaheim Junior Ducks, which is Triple A junior from 2013 to 2014. Spent a season as the assistant coach for the ECHL Ontario Reign in 2010-2011. And was also an assistant coach for Team USA at the 2015 Deutschland Cup. So he's got a hell of a lot of coaching experience there. And this will now be, if I have this correct from what I just read, the highest level that he's ever coached at. So congrats to Craig there. So yeah. So
no, that's cool. I'm excited to see what he can do at the NHL level here.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't got a whole lot more for you than that, but I don't know. Do you have any thoughts?
Not about Craig here, but Santa Margarita. That
should have been the name of the episode. If I had known about this,
yeah,
I didn't. Right? I had read this earlier, but I kind of forgot about it.
Yeah.
And if I had known, this is what the episode would have been called: is Santa Margarita.
So I think the name of this high school it's not as exciting as you would want it to be.
Okay.
But Santa Margarita is just a town in California.
So that's even better. We not only a high school, not only a Catholic high school, but a whole town.
Yeah, and it's presumably named after Saint Margaret. So Santa Margarita is just Spanish for Saint Margaret. And Saint Margaret is just a saint, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. So you've seen The Nightmare Before Christmas, right?
No.
Okay. You need to get on that first.
Yeah, I know.
Second of all, there's like and then you have there's like the movies of like Halloween Town and
Mhm.
stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just picturing the town or the city of Santa Margarita being just drunk off their ass on margaritas and in the Christmas spirit year round here.
Yeah.
That I read that and I'm like, that sounds like a party.
Yeah, absolutely. How
And
many people live here?
if you go like a few miles down the road, you get to Flavortown as well if you really want to go for a good bite to eat.
Yeah. As of the most recent census, which was 2010, it's just 1,259 people having an all year round party.
All year round Christmas party.
Yeah, full of
I love it.
margaritas.
I love it. It's fantastic. If any listeners are from there, please reach out
Please
because
let us
that's
know
great.
what is life like in
What is life like in Santa
Santa
Margarita?
Margarita? Yeah.
Oh my
All
god,
right. Well,
that's fantastic.
okay. Where's this next coach from, or where has he coached anywhere cool?
All right, let's find out. So the Ducks have named Roy Summer the head coach of the San Diego Gulls, the Anaheim's primary development league in the AH or team in the AHL there, and he is the fourth head coach in Gulls history. So Summer is the AHL's all-time leader in wins with 808, games coached at 1,736 after spending the last 26 consecutive seasons as a coach in San Jose's organization. So
Damn.
we're
So
just
reining it in.
picking from
Yeah.
from our rivals here. I love it. Yes,
Yeah.
that a
That's
boy
good.
Verbeek. Summer collected an 808, 721, and 107 record with San Jose's primary affiliates in Kentucky from 98 to 2001, Cleveland from 2001 to 2006, Worcester from 2006 to 2015, and then San Jose from 2015 to 2022. He helped guide the Barracuda to 5 Calder Cup playoff appearances in 7 seasons following the AHL's Pacific Division creation in 2015. He's
Nice.
helped through his coaching career more than 150 players get from the AHL to the NHL. That is promising, especially when you
Oh,
hear
yeah.
some of these names: Joe Pavelski,
Mhm.
Logan Couture,
Yeah.
Thomas Hurdle,
Mhm.
Timo Meyer,
Mhm.
Dan Boyle,
Mhm.
Jonathan Chichu, and then we're
That's a
gonna get
name I
into
haven't heard
my
in a long
then we're gonna
time.
get into my favorite section, the goaltenders. Just two, little known guys of Mika Kiprasov and Evgeny Nabokov.
Damn. That's pretty good. It's a pretty good resume right there.
It's a pretty good resume. And then you know what? Let's add on to it while we're at it.
Sure.
Summer was named the AHL Coach of the Year in 2016 and 17 after leading the Barracuda to a 43-16-9 record with an appearance in the Western Conference Final. As a head coach in the ECHL, he compiled a record of 176, 124, and 34 in 5 seasons, leading the Richmond Renegades of the ECHL to a Kelly Cup championship in 95 and was ECHL Coach of the Year in 95-96 as well.
Yeah. So this sounds like a very promising guy to have in your organization. And
Yeah.
if I may speculate for a little bit here,
Yep.
it's pretty common to have a coach in your AHL system and then promote them up into the NHL system after success.
Wondering.
Is this just saying, hey, we don't have a position open this year, but if you can, take some of our AHL guys and get them NHL ready, maybe
then
next year you can come up.
you can have them for the next few years in the NHL. Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm kind of wondering that. My only hesitancy with that idea is Dallas Eakins is also a pretty good AHL coach. I know they're not the same
flip flop.
I know they're not the same people whatsoever, but there are some people that are great at development, but just can't do it up top, right? So that's my only hesitancy with that idea, but I do like the idea otherwise.
Mm-hmm. It's a possibility.
And I'm much more under the impression as well that we wouldn't have Dallas Eakins unless there was somebody specific that Pat Verbeek wants that is going to be available in the next year. Presumably. So
Yeah, that's true.
That's my thought. So I'm going into this season with that thought process, and I'm gonna try not to harp too much on Dallas Eakins. There definitely probably will be some. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's Dallas Eakins. But keeping that in mind, that's kind of my thought process here, and that makes it a lot more livable for me. So
yeah, fair enough. I wanted to go back to Craig Johnson because I got really hung up on the Santa Margarita thing, and we didn't really talk about him.
Sounds good.
Well, because he's replacing Jeff Ward. So what was Jeff Ward's position? Was he special teams? Or...
I believe he was, at least for the power play, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. So yeah, I was just curious, kind of what Craig's role was going to be with the organization then.
Yeah.
But
and there might still be like a little bit of flip flopping around of like guys swapping up things, right? But yeah,
for sure.
So
yeah, okay, cool. Well, I mean, a couple of decent moves, but not really why anyone's listening to the episode, I don't think.
Yeah, somebody's just like screaming at their car, their phone, or however you're listening to us, or if you're watching YouTube, you're screaming at your computer or your TV. If you're like me, you like to throw it up on the big screen or that kind of thing. Quit talking about the coaches and tell us about the free agents. All right, fine, we will. Jesus Christ, calm down.
Maybe a more effective method than screaming would be to leave a comment if you're on YouTube.
Hey, there you
when
go.
are you going to get to the free agents?
And leave a like and 5-star review. You're there.
Yeah. That too, or a 5-star review on your favorite podcasting platform. Just saying like great content, but it'd be a little nicer if you got to the free agents a little quicker.
No, just leave it at great content, please. I read all those reviews. And there's been like one or two actually that have like been like about a specific episode, and it's like, oh, they did this, and it's like, okay, listen to the rest of the episodes though, and you might actually find something you'll like.
Yeah, I think I know who wrote some of those reviews too, but we won't get into that
anyway.
So, otherwise, we'll get another,
yeah, exactly.
Nice review here.
All right, free agents. Do we want to start with the more AHL guys, or do we want to start with the big ones?
Let's run through the AHL guys because
all right,
I don't really have anything to say on them, but
okay, so I'm gonna go through some of the. I kind of have an order here, and we'll kind of go. We'll go. We're going with my order. All right.
Okay.
Got that? You're fine with that? Too bad. You're doing it anyway.
Okay. I agreed anyways. But okay.
All right. So we're gonna start with Lucas Klock was picked up by the Ducks here. I'm just double checking that I actually have that right, and I'm not mixing it up with Arizona because Elite Prospects does have Arizona listed here. KLOK. Yeah, I got that right. All right, Ducks signed Lucas Klock to a 1-year, $950,000 deal. He's been playing his career over in the Czech Republic there. He's played for the Czechia national team as well. Not sure if that's the Olympics. It doesn't exactly say, actually, but playing for... Oh, sorry, he's been playing in the KHL. My bad. I'm not even going to try to say that.
No, do it.
No, Nefetkimik.
Confidence. Man.
No, there is no confidence here, dude. This looks like a toddler just slapped the keyboard. Anyway, he played in the KHL, played 44 games, had 31 points, 5 goals, and 26 assists, and was also a point per game playoff player there. 4 points in 4 playoff games during this last KHL season. Before that, he's spent time kind of between, the Czech Republic, the Finnish Liga, and the KHL there. So he's kind of one of the lesser ones, even though he's making almost $1 million. I'm kind of surprised that there's not a whole lot more on this guy that I'm at least able to find. Maybe this is a guy that we got to bring Shane back on to talk about.
Maybe.
So actually, you know what? I'm having drinks with him tomorrow. I'll just ask him then.
Yeah. Sorry. I just want to know, where did you... Because everywhere I see, like Wikipedia, Elite Prospects, Hockey DB, it all says this guy signed in Arizona. So where did you find that he's with Anaheim?
On NBC Sports. They have
oh, really?
Ducks there. So
interesting.
But you know what? Let me double check actually on Cap Friendly. Yeah, you know what? He's not even there. All right, we go Arizona. Get them. Get to that cap floor. We're right there with you. Don't worry about it. That's not a slight. We are right there with you.
Yeah, but I pulled him up just because I was curious, like how I would say his current team name, and you're right. There's no
there's
pronouncing that with
there's no
confidence.
saving that.
Neftekimik
Yeah.
I feel like you got to get a little bit of rasp in there, you know.
Okay, I'm learning. Okay, 3 things have come out of this so far. All right.
Mhm.
First off, just don't even attempt Russian. All right, just don't even bother. Second off, if you want more Arizona Coyotes content, especially with this season's going to be really interesting. I feel like with the ASU arena and everything like that, but things are looking bright. I think for the Arizona Coyotes, go check out Sporty with Corey and Richie. There's a plug there for them. And third, NBC, get your shit together. My God,
Yeah,
you got a show to put on here. NBC is no longer reputable to me.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into some of our actual prospects here that we picked up. Oh, all right. So we got Colin White, and I feel like this is a different Colin White than we were both thinking of beforehand.
Mhm.
But I could be entirely wrong, and that Colin White just hasn't really played actually a whole lot of NHL time. This Colin White, at least, played with the New Jersey Devils for most of his career, but last year specifically played 27 games with the Devils, had 4 assists, and played 6 games with the Utica Comets, the Devils' AHL affiliate, scoring 3 goals there and having only 3 points. And that was kind of his entire season last year. I'm not sure if that was to injuries or whatnot, but yeah, not a whole heck of a lot going on there at least. But what did we sign him to? We signed him to a $762,500 per year contract, 2-year deal. It looks like.
Nice.
So yeah, pretty low risk there. And you know what? Let's take a look. Is that a 2-way contract? Looks to be. Yes, 2-way contract.
Okay.
So,
and for those that don't know what a 2-way contract is, do you want to?
For those that don't know what a 2-way contract is, it's basically you'll have 2 different salaries. So you have your NHL salary, and then you have what you make in the AHL. So it looked like, I just clicked off of it, but it looked like it's guaranteed for like 250,000. That like he'll play in the AHL, and then it gets bumped up to that 762,000. If he plays in the NHL, that'll kind of be the salary for there.
Okay.
So
cool.
But yeah,
cool.
All right. Let's see.
I think the Colin White I was thinking of was and that other people might be thinking of, played in Ottawa for I think his whole career in like 200 games or something like that. So yeah, different. Not that Colin White, anyways.
Yeah. The only thing I'm super surprised about is that this Colin White wasn't picked up by the Toronto Maple Leafs because he played 4 seasons with the Sioux Greyhounds. We all know that Kyle Dubas loves his Sioux Greyhounds.
Yeah, that's true. That is kind of weird, but
all right, let's go to this guy here, Austin Strand. We're picking up from some other California teams again. Played 8 games with the LA Kings this season, scoring 2 assists. And then the other 32 games of this season, he played with the Ontario Reign, scoring 7 points, 3 assists. So he's a bit more of a local guy for us. He's from Calgary, so that's kind of cool.
Nice.
I like that. So yeah. All right, then we're gonna get into some of the bigger of the AHL potential NHL signings here. Here's a name you might recognize: Chase DeLeo. He is back in the Anaheim franchise organization, I guess. Last year, he was able to play 2 games with the New Jersey Devils. Unfortunately, he didn't score any points for that. But in Utica, in the AHL, he tore it up, scoring 21 goals for 56 points in 55 games. Now, if you can do math half-ass decently, you'll realize, hey, 56 is more than 55. That's correct. He was more than a point-of-game player in the AHL, that's all right. That's good. That's call-up potential worthy. And you know what? I would say, like, I remember like being happy for this guy and like wishing that we saw more of him, when he was in Anaheim for 2021 and in 1920 there, like when we started this show. So would have been great to see more of him. And it looks like his, his numbers have just gotten even better, right? So like the duration of our show, at least, played in San Diego in 1920, 25 points in 51 games. But obviously, that season got cut short and everything like that because of COVID. The 2021 season had 35 points in 37 games. And then in Utica this year, 56 and 55. So he's like there, you can see a little bit of growth there in his point production and whatnot, which is awesome to see. And I hope he gets a crack at this NHL roster. So because we got some spots to fill still, I think, right? So
for sure. Yeah. There's some spots down in the bottom 6 that are up for grabs.
Yeah.
100%. I was just curious why we lost him, but it looks like we just lost him to free agency last year. Yeah, he signed.
Yeah, just a 1-year deal, I think, in New Jersey. So
yeah. So yeah, now that I think about it, I think he was an RFA and then we didn't qualify him. So he became a UFA. I think that's what happened there.
Which we can get into that in a little bit here. I didn't put that in the outline, but I kind of remembered
that.
That's a talking point.
That's true. That is, yeah.
All right. So,
who else we got here?
You got something else? Or,
okay. No, go ahead.
All right. So we're getting into a couple of guys that I'm not crazy familiar with, but I at least recognize the names, being that they are coming over from the Stockton Heat, which is the Calgary Flames AHL affiliate. We got Justin Kirkland, who last year played 66 games with the Stockton Heat, who finished second in the Pacific Division, got all the way to the Western Conference Finals, lost to the Chicago Wolves, if I remember that correctly. Scored 48 points in 66 games there, 25 goals, and scored 12 goals in 13 playoff games. So that's somebody who can definitely help out in the AHL. He's only 25, so he could help out in the NHL as well if we need some more help there. And I mean, we do still need some scoring help, so that could be nice in the bottom 6 a little bit there. And the other guy here, also coming over from Stockton, is Glenn Godden. He was able to play 2 games with Calgary last year. Didn't score any points though, but in the AHL scored 15 goals and 50 points in 62 games for the Stockton Heat, and scoring 6 points in 10 playoff games there on the way to the Western Conference Final. So out of the AHL guys that we've picked up, those are probably the 2 bigger ones, I would say, besides Chase DeLeo.
For
sure. I think they, like we said, there's spots open in the bottom there that, some of these guys are going to be fighting for, unless we make some other big moves coming up here, because we do still have
a lot of cap space.
We have almost $10 million in cap space still. So
which we'll get into some things we could use that for a little bit later. But there's opportunity for sure.
Yeah,
for sure,
absolutely. So.
Okay, before we get into the Vetrano and Strome signings, because those are obviously the 2 big ones recently, do we want to take a quick break, talk about our friends over at DraftKings, and then on the other side, we can talk about Vetrano and Strome? Does that work for you?
Yeah, sure. Let's do that.
Okay, sounds good. This is all you.
This is all me. And it is all me now if you're watching on YouTube. The action ends, oh my God, we're already screwing it up. Fantastic. The action never ends at DraftKings Sportsbook, especially this summer. With tons of ways to bet on all your favorite sports, you can feel your fandom and feel the heat of the season like never before. Plus, right now, DraftKings Sportsbook is giving new customers a risk-free bet up to $1,000. That's right. Make your first bet up to $1,000, and if it doesn't win, you'll get another shot to cash in. You can throw down on all the major action for baseball, golf, MMA, and more. Plus, with same-game parlays, spreads, money lines, over-unders, and props, your betting options feel endless. Now, if you're in the Anaheim area, maybe don't bet on the Angels lately. Kind of what I've been seeing around on Anaheim, like on Ducks Twitter. A lot of you guys are Angels fans as well. Not going so well. However, though, things look like they might be turning around potentially in Toronto, so I might be taking a look at some bets there on the Blue Jays. They're currently playing a series against the Royals, and they just beat the Royals 8-1 at the time of this recording. Best of all, DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable, and you can deposit and withdraw your cash from Angels games whenever you want. So, what are you waiting for? Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now, use the promo code THPN, Make your first deposit and get a risk-free bet up to $1,000. Again, that's promo code THPN, as in the Hockey Podcast Network, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details.
Now, I just went to grab my water as you were doing the ad. Did I hear right at the beginning of the ad what you said? Did you?
Yeah, I said the action ends, and I was like, hold on a second.
Wait, no, it doesn't.
It never ends, people. It never ends. Sports are year-round.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's
started
good.
that one off right, and it was great because like we were talking before. I'm like, oh, I gotta live read it again, and you're like, it's fine. Like you've been like hitting these out of the park lately, and then we just like we don't even get off the tarmac there. We're just right into the wall.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, let's get into Vatrano and Strome here. A couple of former Rangers, I guess.
We're going for the Rangers here. It looks like.
Yeah. Well, we took Shattenkirk. Was that 2 free agencies ago? And he is a former Ranger. Vatrano.
He was coming from Tampa at least, though. So.
Yeah. Vatrano came from Florida, right? He played in Florida last year, I think.
Yeah, Florida, and then at the trade deadline got shipped to the Rangers.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
and then Strome's been with the Rangers for a few seasons. So
yeah, since 2018.
Yeah, so we're just becoming the Anaheim Rangers.
Hey, and you know what? They got to the Eastern Conference Final. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's not a bad thing for sure. Let's start with Frank Vatrano, though. Off the top of my head, I don't remember his contract.
Frank Vatrano got a 3-year, $3,650,000 contract. So a total value of $10,950,000 or $50,000.
Okay.
So
I mean, that's pretty good. 3 years, fairly short term, 3.65 million. That's reasonable, I would say, for a middle six guy.
Yeah, he had a bit of a shorter year last year, playing only 22 games. Sorry, he was in Florida there first. Let's see my math here for a second.
Yeah, so 22 in New York and
49 in Florida. So is that 61?
Yeah,
61 games. We're gonna do my math again. 19 plus 13 is 32.
Yep.
There we go. Look at me go. 32 points in 62 games there between Florida and New York this year. He'll be a guy kind of for the middle, bottom six, I'm thinking. Probably middle six.
Yeah.
Just
veteran guy, isn't he like 30 something as well?
He is 28.
Oh, damn. I mean, like that's still older for a NHL player, but he's younger than I thought. So
and centerman. So I mean, I feel like it kind of depends on what you want to do with Isaac Lundestrom, or if you think McTavish is ready. I'm thinking that McTavish is going to be sticking with the big club this year. It would be ridiculous not to, I feel like, unless we just see that it's not working out to start the year.
Yeah.
But I mean, from what we saw last year, even right before he went and did a world tour, basically, like he looked like he was just about there. He's got to be there this year, I think. So you're looking at Vatrano maybe as your fourth line centerman, which that's not a bad pickup for a fourth line. It's not bad money either.
Yeah, Vatrano does play the wing as well. I think both sides. Like, he's a pretty versatile player. So like he doesn't even need to be fourth line center. Like you could put him on McTavish or Zegras' wing as just like a I guess more veteran guy. Like
throw him on the left side there. So
like he will fill literally whatever hole you want him to. So
I guess we can kind of get into this conversation now. Sonny Milano's not coming back. Kind of need somebody on that left side, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, sorry. I'm sorry, Frank. We'll talk about you. Don't worry. Why did we not qualify Milano? It makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I'm not totally sure on that. Honestly, you said his qualifying offer was like what, 3 million?
So the qualifying offers on restricted free agents, it's the minimum is what you were making in your contract before. And I believe he was only making like 1.6 if I remember correctly. Let me just double check.
It's based off salary, not Or is it based off salary? I thought it was based off salary, not cap hit. I could be wrong on
It's
that
it's
though.
salary or cap hit, but it's like per year that you were making before.
Yeah.
So I believe it only would have been like the like 1.6 or that. I'm just pulling it up on Cap Friendly here. And he's still currently unsigned as well. Somebody's gonna get him for a steal here.
Oh, absolutely. He's going to be a
Uh,
good depth guy for a cup contender, I think, which good for
so
him, right?
yeah. So I mean, okay, so it wasn't too much different either way. His cap hit was 1.7. His base salary was 1.8.
Okay.
So yeah, it really doesn't matter. Either way, you could have had him potentially for cheap, right? Like the qualifying offer is
Yeah.
just more like, okay, we're gonna like he's gonna stick with us kind of thing, right? And then you go into negotiations from there. That's where you get like arbitration cases and that kind of thing if there's really not something going on or whatnot, which I believe that deadline is the 22nd, if I'm not mistaken, for RFAs.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fact that we didn't qualify him. So James Johnson from the Barn Burner hockey podcast, the one of the Flame shows on our network here, he even messaged me today, and he's like, because James is a analytics guy, right?
Yeah.
And so he kind of looks at that, and he's like he messaged me. He's like, these, you know what? I'll pull up the message here because he was kind of confused as well, actually, just looking at the analytic numbers as to how this guy was available, basically. So yeah, he messaged me, Nate, talk to me about Sonny Milano. Is he as good as the numbers are telling me? Product of Zegras, basically that the Ducks were better at, like, it's basically that the Ducks were better at everything when he was on the ice. His wins above replacement was at 77%, which that if you're newer to analytics or that's pretty fucking good. That
Yeah.
means that like it's like if you were to just replace him with anybody else kind of thing, like how much of an impact would that have? Or if he replaced somebody, like how much of an impact would that have?
Mhm.
And yeah, like he was above his expected goal total. It was only by like 1 point something, but that's still good to be above your expected goal total and everything like that.
Oh,
Like,
for sure. Yeah.
and so like I told him, I'm like, it really wasn't far off. He, I believe, like had decent numbers in Columbus as well. He just didn't mesh with Tortorella when he was there at the time, right? And that's why
Mhm.
he's able to come to Anaheim. And yeah, just that I was really surprised that that he didn't get offered like qualifying offer here from Verbeek.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah.
know a lot of people were upset about it on Duck's Twitter there as well. So
Rightfully
I know,
so, because he was
yeah.
close with Zegras. Like they had great chemistry together.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, you're breaking up that pairing. We were asking all last like the second part of last year for Zegras, Milano, and Terry to be together, right? Like you could
Mhm.
see the potential in that.
Yeah.
And like man, like okay, I am gonna say though that those are all that those are that are calling for Verbeek to be fired already. Calm
That's
the
a
fuck
stretch.
down.
Yeah.
Calm the fuck down. All right.
Now,
I'm at the point right now, and again, this guy's been under the tutelage of Stevie Y, right? Steve Eiserman in Detroit there, who basically that man built at least the first Tampa Bay Cup out of the two cups that were won in 3 straight final appearances,
mhm.
right? Let's pump the brakes here for a second. This guy, he's got a good track record at least, probably knows what he's doing. There's a reason that we aren't knowing at the moment as to why.
Yeah.
So let's give it a second here.
Mhm.
However,
No, I
whoever picks up Sonny Milano though is getting a steal of a
oh,
deal. Let
absolutely.
me
Yeah.
tell you. And so as a Calgary fan, I'm like, pick that guy up. 100% pick that guy up.
Yeah. Now, because I know that he had issues with Tortorella, or him and Tortorella had issues when he was in Columbus. Do you think it's maybe the same sort of thing? Because like we would never hear about anything like that in Anaheim. Do you think he had an issue with like Dallas Eakins or like Pat Verbeek? Like, do you think there was some sort of like maybe I don't know. I'm totally speculating, but
Yeah,
like
it's total speculation. I
yeah,
would
like
have no clue whatsoever. So because I
like
mean
have you
like
heard?
I
Sorry,
haven't heard anything about that
yeah,
whatsoever. And I mean it's hard to. His numbers were better in Anaheim, obviously.
Yeah.
At least from what I can tell. You know what? I should maybe back that up actually,
Mhm.
just to
Yeah.
be certain, but I'm 99% sure.
Yeah. The only other thing I was like curious about was if like he didn't sign his qualifying offer. Like I don't totally remember how qualifying offers work. Like
So when it came out, is he wasn't given one.
okay.
So
So it's not
that's how
that
we
he was
know.
okay.
Yeah, that's how we know this is on Verbeek not
Okay.
offering him one. Yeah.
Gotcha. And I mean it's possible too that he was like, I want to be signed long term. And then Verbeek was like, the most I'm gonna give you is like 2 years. And then he was like, don't qualify me then. Like that's a possibility as well.
That is a
So
possibility. Yeah.
there's tons of different reasons that we'll probably never know, but it sucks that we've let this guy go because I think
Yeah.
he
But
could have been a real asset to the team. So
yeah, so Milano had a career high both in games played and in points this year.
mhm.
Scoring 14 goals, 34 points in total in 66 games. We know he battled injury, especially last year. He only made 6 appearances. Um,
Yeah.
but like this was a guy that like the first season of the show is like Sonny Milano, and we're like, this is actually a really good fit, right?
Mhm.
Like you just kind of took a look at him and it's like, yeah, this could work actually. And it was working, which is why I think so many people are confused as to why he wasn't qualified here. So yeah, just
Yeah.
to reiterate, whoever picks him up is getting a deal here, I think.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
yeah.
But back to Frank Vetrano. We got a comment right off the bat from Lauren, who is obviously very excited about this. Yeah, this was literally 8:03 p.m., so 3 minutes after our show started. She says we got a steal with Frank Vetrano. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think it's at a decent cap hit for, like I said, it'll probably be a middle bottom six guy. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's good numbers. So and for 3 years, you take him to 31. Maybe that's where he's like, hey, I want to finish out maybe in Anaheim, or he's like, yeah, I'm gonna try somewhere else, kind of thing. If
yeah.
more pieces are coming in and that. So
It depends. Like if he has chemistry with Zegras or
yeah,
McTavish or Terry, like then obviously you'd want to keep him around. But he's got 3 years to figure out who he has chemistry with on the team. So
mhm. Yeah,
and if
exactly.
it's not working out, like he's somebody that we can ship off at the deadline in maybe in the third year of that deal to like a cup contender, or if we're a
Yeah,
cup contender, bring in a different piece. Like it's
yeah.
a very tradable contract, and I don't think there was any like clauses on that I noticed. Um,
Um, yeah, not
like
as
a
far. I'm just double checking here. Where Frankfurt Toronto. Da, 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 da,
doesn't
da.
doesn't look like it.
Yeah,
Doesn't
I'm not
say
seeing
anything.
anything. So yeah, just 3-year contract. So
Yeah, which is good.
yeah,
But the guy I'm more excited for is us signing Ryan Strome to a 5-year, $5 million deal.
yeah, and that was a deal that everybody kind of looked and went, okay, there's working with some of that cap space that we got,
Yeah,
and even that's not a horrible deal. 5 million per year.
5 million for what, 60, 70 points a season? I feel like is kind of where he's been
Uh,
at.
he is so last year he had 54 points in
Oh, okay.
74 games. The year before that had 49 points in 56. Um, yeah,
Six, yeah,
you're guaranteed at we'll go with
like
at least
50.
50. Yeah,
Yeah, 50 to 60 points in any given season.
which again, we just need more scoring in general.
Yeah.
So you're looking at like over the last 3 years, 18, 14, and 21 for goals, right? So like even that helps a little bit.
Hmm.
So because yeah, we had guys struggle last year, right? Like Silverberg didn't do a whole heck of a lot.
No, he didn't. He
Right.
really
So like
didn't.
you got to make up
Yeah.
for that somehow. So
Yeah. Was this the signing that Shane tagged us in on Twitter? And
yeah.
he was like, here's that right wing I told you
Yeah,
about.
here's that right wing you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
The thing with Ryan Strome is that he's also a centerman. Like he can play center, he can play right wing. It doesn't matter.
So
So,
we're bringing in versatile players, which I like.
mhm, which is good. And I really
And
want
which
to
is
see.
great for a Dallas Eakins that loves to line blend. My
Yeah.
God.
I really want to see this guy paired with Mason McTavish. I don't care who's on the wing. I don't care who's at center, but I want to see those guys on a line together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I think that the way that Ryan Strome plays is very similar to the way that McTavish plays in that like they're hardworking, they get to the dirty areas. I think Mason McTavish will end up being a little bit bigger. Oh yes,
Yeah.
here's Lauren's question. How do you
Yeah.
feel about the signing of Ryan Strome? Yeah. I think it's fantastic. Like given Dallas Eakins' tendency to start new guys on the wing, like he did with Zegras, I have no issue with Strome centering Mason McTavish for half a season is probably realistically what it's going to be. Like,
Yeah.
yes, McTavish will be more comfortable at center, but I think he'll learn a lot just
He'll get there
watching
eventually.
Strome play center, on a line, like actively seeing him. And it doesn't mean like Strome could take the faceoffs, McTavish could play down the middle. Like just because you take a faceoff or not doesn't mean you're playing center.
Yeah.
So, but I want to see those guys play on a line together. I think that would be a fantastic fit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited for that. So we're already coming up with like different line combination, and
Yeah.
you just know Dallas Eakins is gonna be like, "What the fuck are you thinking about?"
Yeah.
Ryan Strome's going on the fourth line, you bitch.
It's either first line or fourth line. There's no
Yeah,
in between.
exactly. There's no
Like-
in between. No second or third for you. Which one do you want?
Yeah.
You want that one? No, you're not getting that one.
Lauren had another comment here about Ryan Strome saying a lot of Rangers fans don't like him. And then this will be for the football fans. He was like Terrell Edmonds of the Rangers, he was like the Terrell Edmonds of the Rangers. Many Steelers fans feel the same way about Edmonds, the way Rangers fans feel about Strome. She goes on to say, as a Steelers fan, I don't like Terrell Edmonds. So yes, he had some bad misses. I'm sure that everybody has seen him miss that, like those couple wide open nets. But like those are the only two clips I've seen of him. And he played for the Oilers, so I watched him there, and that was 4 or 5 years ago now at this point. I generally follow the Rangers. They're one of my favorite East Coast teams, and I've never had an issue watching Ryan Strome play. Like his mistakes really stand out, of course. Like they're
aren't
bad
many,
mistakes.
right?
They're no. He like the good plays he makes drastically outweigh the bad plays. So it's, and especially because like we're not going to be playing super meaningful games. I don't think like the open net he missed in Game 7 against the Lightning in the Eastern Conference Final. Like Ryan Strome's not going to be in that position with the Ducks in the next 2-3 years. So like it's nothing to really worry about at this point.
I'm just trying to see if I can pull up some other numbers on Strome here.
Yeah, go for it. Like advanced stats.
Yeah, just seeing like if anything like really sticks out to me or that sort of thing. But I mean, if you have anything more that you want to talk about for a moment.
I did have Cat Friendly's depth chart pulled up, and right now it has Ryan Strome on the second line, centering Lundestrom and Silfverberg. And again, this is just depth chart, so it's who's your top centerman, who's your second centerman, who's your third, who's your top.
Who is it projecting our top centerman right now? Just curious.
Zegras.
Fucking rights.
Yeah, obviously. Come on. What's gonna be Adam Henrique? Are you fucking high?
Okay, here's a fun little one for you. Strome did very well against his expected goals, which was at 17.3, scoring 21. That's a decent number.
That's
I like
good.
that. I like seeing that.
Man, if you can get 20 goals a season in the NHL, you're doing fine.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not mad about
and
that.
A 20 goal scorer at 5 million. Oh, I don't hate that.
Easy.
Yeah.
Power play guy too. I think he kills penalties, honestly. Do you have any fancy penalty killing stats up there?
Taking a look. I think he's a lot more of a power play guy because percentage of shifts starting in the defensive zone is the least at 7.9. His most is offense at 17.1.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, yeah, so power play guy for sure, which is good because our power play hasn't been great the last few years. It showed improvements last year, but I think a hot start really brought that average up because it looked pretty bad in the last half of the year. So
yeah, exactly. And I mean, this guy like is great, like just on assists and that in general. 18 of his 33 were primaries. which that's always great to see.
Mhm.
But he's a guy that knows a chance to shoot a puck at least. So not to
Yeah.
slight like guys like Ryan Getzlaf or anything like that, but we need guys who can shoot the puck and want to shoot the puck.
Yeah. I
So
I think what excites me about Strome is he doesn't do anything like super, super well, but he does everything that he
that's a great start. He doesn't do
Yeah.
anything super well, but
but everything that he does, oh sorry, he doesn't do everything super well. No, I got you. You threw me off my mojo.
he's well rounded.
Thank you. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I'm glad you got that.
Oh man,
Everything that he does, he's like pretty good at. But
Yeah.
it's not like he's known for putting up 40 goals
yeah,
or anything like that. So
not yet. Anyway,
not
maybe
yet.
wearing a duck sweater. Who knows?
Man, you pair him with McTavish, and well, no, I guess it'd be. I mean, he might put up like 60 assists with McTavish.
I'm okay with that. If McTavish puts up 40 goals in his first season, fucking sign me up.
Oh God, that would be insane. But-
Dude, that's a win in my book, no matter what.
Dude,
We
even if
could
he
be
gets
dead last in the win, and if,
Yeah.
if Mason McTavish honestly puts up more than 25 goals this season or 30 goals, I'm happy with that. That's a good season.
Oh, for sure, for sure. So that's all we've done so far. But
There's still
excuse me.
time.
Yeah, we have. How much did you say? 7-ish million in cap space.
9.7 something.
9.7
We got
million
space. We got space
to hit the
dude.
floor.
To hit the floor.
We have to spend 9.7.
Yeah, which is a minimum of I believe it's 61 million is what you have to spend.
Something like
61.1
that.
million. Yeah, we got some money to spend. We got a projected cap hit leading the league in projected cap space
Mhm.
of cap space, not cap hit. Projected cap hits. Okay. Hit first, space later.
Okay.
Projected hit of $51.726 million. Space is 30.773. We got some money to spend, people. And it doesn't have to all be this year.
No,
Right.
no, and it shouldn't be because
it shouldn't be.
UFAs or free agents, RFAs and UFAs for next year. Max Comtois, Derek Grant, Troy Terry,
There you go.
Trevor Zegras,
There you go.
Kevin Shattenkirk, Josh Mahura, and Jamie Drysdale. That's 7 guys, and might not sign all of them, and they're not all going to be the biggest. But
and Drysdale are your big 3. You gotta get on that fast.
if they're all coming up in 23, 24, you got to have the room to do that.
Now, I already know that the agents are going, see what you do this year, do even better. But Pat Verbeek's going, I want to get these guys signed as quick as possible.
Like, I want to get them signed yesterday.
As soon as extensions are possible for these guys, I want to sign them to them.
Yeah.
He's thinking that.
Doesn't it open technically like when free agency starts, you can extend guys for next year? Or is it when the season starts?
I think it's in January or something like that.
Oh, okay.
If I'm not mistaken. So
yeah, you might be right. Yeah.
Yeah. There's still some time for stuff to happen. So
yeah, for sure. But I mean, those 3 guys, Terry, Zegras, and Drysdale, I think you easily got to set aside like 25 mil.
That's what I was thinking.
Minimum. Yeah.
Yep.
Because Zegras, we'll say like 9-10 mil. Drysdale,
I'll say 8 to 9.
You think 8? Okay.
Yeah.
I am aiming a little high, to be fair. So
yeah, I was like, holy shit, we're going that high already.
let's say 9 mil.
All right.
Drysdale, I think 7. 6 to 7. So we'll say 7.
I could maybe see a little bit higher because he is already a top pairing defenseman.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. And defensemen, like a lot of defensemen have been signing for 9 mil, and I don't think Drysdale is Cale Makar. Let's say 8.
Yeah.
Another 8 mil. So that puts us at 16. Is that what I said? 8 and 8? Or do we say 9 and 8?
Sure. Or I said 8 for Zegras. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go 16 or 17. Yeah.
16. Yeah. And then Troy Terry, another 8 would be 24. Okay. So 25 is being a little bit conservative, I think. But
it's better to over budget, right? So
yeah, exactly. So we got some work to do is the point
Yeah.
next season. But we're not there quite yet. We do still have to sign some guys this year. Thankfully, we have some holes on the roster that I think can be filled with trades or free agency.
Mhm.
So let's just run through the Ducks depth chart here. These obviously aren't our lines, but let's pretend they are for a second. Top line, Zegras, Henrique, and Terry. I'm fine with that.
Absolutely.
Second line, Strome, Lundestrom, and Silfverberg. Lundstrom's a little high for my liking, but I mean, he could fill that role if necessary.
I liked him on the third line.
Yeah.
He could do more.
For
but
sure.
I like him in that spot, right?
Mm-hmm. Third line, they have Mason McTavish, Frank Vetrano, and Derek Grant. So, I mean, you can argue about flipping Vetrano and Lundestrom on that left side, but
yeah,
the part that then scares me there is, well, two things. Mason McTavish isn't a guarantee. If he is in the NHL, fantastic. Yeah. But there's no guarantee he plays. And Derek Grant as your third line right winger does not instill confidence. I'm sorry. I love Derek Grant, but no.
Yeah. But you know what? At least it's, like I said, Derek Grant is better as a bottom six guy. He can fill that role. Fantastic. Mm-hmm. I'm not even too worried about seeing him there currently at the moment. It's when you're getting him into the top six that's like, okay, we're maybe pushing a little too much here.
Mm-hmm. And then fourth line, they have Gaudreau, who's played. Has he played any? He's played what, like 4 NHL games?
Yeah, much.
And then Max Comtois, who was a dumpster fire last season, and Sam Carrick.
I'm hoping Comtois has a bounce back season. You know he has it in him. Mm-hmm. I think just last year got off to a rocky start. He got hurt at like the midway point of the season there as well, right?
Yeah.
It was just a rough year for him. I'm hoping he can bounce back. So
yeah, but I'm just not super confident in that bottom six. So I would like to see us add some more depth guys for a couple mil here and there. I don't have any specifics in mind. I was honestly more focused on defense. Hey, Ray Neal, how's it going?
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know. Do you have any guys in mind for forwards that you think could just like hop right in there?
I'm trying to think of like who's been taken and everything like that. Let's pull up free agents here.
I mean, there's Phil Kessel.
He's staying in Arizona, I feel like.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's trying to figure out like who's. Oh yeah, here we can filter it out, like take out the RFAs and that kind of thing. No, actually, I was gonna say unless we want to offer sheet somebody, but this is a bad year. I feel like to do that. Like that's not saying that the players that are potential aren't great. They are, but you're giving up like first picks for next year and whatnot. Yeah, and I don't think you want to be giving up 2023 picks because. We got Zegras, we got Terry, we got McTavish, we got Drysdale. We could add another potential franchise player this year.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's take off. Or no, sorry, I just want UFAs.
Yeah, and we just want forwards for now. We'll talk about defensemen in a sec. So just try and keep it to forwards. If we can sort by forwards. I thought you could.
Why is it not working? What?
Yeah, what? You gotta hit update. Are you on Cat Friendly?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, yeah, there's an update results.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
I was just trying to make it though that it was only UFAs.
Oh yeah.
That was the issue I was having. But that's not really working here for me.
Danton Heinen is a UFA.
Oh, interesting.
He didn't get qualified by Pittsburgh. I forgot about that. So we could bring Heinen back. I do like him.
Yeah, it wouldn't be too bad.
Who else we got for depth guys? Sam Gagner, Derek Brassard, Carter Rowney, another former Duck there.
Why am I not seeing the place to like just make it UFAs?
It took me a while to find. It's under contract filters and signing status.
And signing status? Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Right? It's a weird one. That's not what I was really looking for.
Yeah. Gelchenyuk. could be interesting.
Yeah.
I don't hate him.
Yeah, that'd be all right.
I don't hate him as a player.
What was his contract last season?
750,000
That's it? Really?
league min.
Damn.
And I believe he ended off in Arizona, if I'm not mistaken. No, where did he go?
I don't remember.
Yeah, Arizona.
Okay.
I was right. Look at me go.
I wouldn't be mad about Matthew Perreault. He kind of fits the Ducks bill.
Oh yeah,
34 Ducks bill. Funny.
He's funny.
He's 34 years old, so short term, obviously, but I think he could be a good veteran guy, good veteran leader. He plays all three forward positions, so it kind of fits the whole Strome Vetrano, versatility thing. So wouldn't be mad about that.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I do love Rocco Grimaldi, 29 years old, right shot winger.
Am I missing a reason as to why Kyle Turris hasn't been signed yet? Oh, he's got 4 points in 23 games last season. That might be it.
Yeah.
I was just like, really? No one's picked up Kyle Turris? Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, dude fell off a fucking cliff over the last couple of years.
A little bit.
Yeah.
He's an older guy, but you take a page for Joe Thornton? Actually, no. Joe Thornton's not even coming here.
No, there's no way. No.
He's trying to chase that cup right now.
Yeah. So
Paul
yeah,
Stastny, he's 36, but
I was thinking Stastny
the guy
too.
put up 45 points in 71 games last year.
Yeah. I mean, like I
really
didn't
realize he was 36. Holy shit.
Yeah, we could pay him if he's just looking for a paycheck. Like, sure, but I mean, he's also probably one of those guys chasing a cup. I think.
Hey, you want to get paid? You want to come play in California? Come on over.
Yeah. Has Paul Stastny ever won a cup?
I don't think so.
No, he played with St. Louis, but he was in Vegas when St. Louis won.
Evan Rodriguez.
Evan Rodriguez. Yeah.
Evan Rodriguez put up 43 points in 82 games last year. $1 million cap hit last year.
Yeah, that's not bad. Not bad at all.
You know what? No, I got it.
Go for it.
Full circle, Jay Beagle. Zeke or Terry walks into the room. What the fuck? He has flashbacks to that game.
Yeah. That'd be a disaster.
Okay, actually,
disaster.
I've seen this name come up before. And Carter, this is a name that you're familiar with. Maybe not for the reasons that you are thinking before I say this name.
Okay.
Tyler Ennis.
Yeah.
As a middle bottom six option.
I love Tyler Ennis, dude.
Yeah.
I freaking love that kid.
24 points. He's not even exactly a kid anymore. He's 32, but 24
points. He's still a kid. He's like 5 feet tall. He's still a kid.
We watched Tyler Ennis in Medicine Hat for junior. So as much as like he's older than us, he will always be a kid. 24 points in 57 games last year with who was he with? I'm trying not to look. I'm trying to see if I can remember. Wasn't he with Ottawa last year?
I think he made his way back there. Yeah.
Hey, look at me go again. Ottawa.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I think that kind of covers potential forward options.
It's just kind of trying to fill out roster spots if you want to, but I think we got some guys that can fill them already.
Yeah, for sure.
It's more you're trying to sign maybe to get to the cap floor, unless you're bringing up guys from the A that you might be able to do that with, actually.
Yeah.
So, actually, do they even still hit the floor? Oh yeah, Vakanainen's been qualified, but he hasn't signed, and I believe same with Simon Benoit. So
I believe he was qualified too. Yeah.
So I mean that'll get you a little bit closer to the cap floor, and then if you swap somebody out with somebody to like that makes a little bit more, yeah, you're fine. You can make the cap floor at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Sorry, I'm just trying to look up before I am
Yeah,
an
go for
idiot
it.
on here. But I really think our defense can use some work right now as the pairings stand. Where did this go? We have Fowler and Drysdale as our top pairing. That one's fine.
Yeah.
No issue with that one. Also, just want to throw this out there. Manson did re-sign with Colorado, so he
Yeah, that
unfortunately
was
will not be
upsetting.
coming back to Anaheim. It was a 4-year, I want to say $4 million deal.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah,
Somewhere
4x4. Which good
Yeah.
on him. Good on him.
Yeah, if he likes it there, I mean, he earned that. He was a huge part of their cup team, and yeah, it just sucks because I really wanted him back. But
Yeah.
Fowler Drysdale top pairing. Second pairing, we have Vakanainen and Shattenkirk, which is a little iffy as a second pairing. And then third pairing, we have Benoit and Mahura, which is even more iffy because in my mind, those are 7 and 8D.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we don't have any like huge defensive prospects. I mean, we've got Olin Zellweger, I guess, but the kid's only 18. Maybe Drew Hellison makes the jump up, but like these are shots in the dark. Like we have no idea what's going to go on with those guys.
Yeah.
So I think we need to sign a couple defensemen. And we have the cap space to do it. And I think he could be a staple on this team for a long time. And he's a fantastic defenseman. Doesn't get enough credit around the league, I don't think. But I think we got to go for John Klingberg.
Oh, okay. I thought you were about to like get me all ramped up and go Chris Russell. I genuinely thought that's where you were going with that.
I legitimately thought about that, but no.
Klingberg could be interesting. However, there's a lot of talk just in circles right now. Now, social media isn't the end all be all. He suddenly followed a lot of Calgary Flames players.
Interesting.
So there's just kind of some rumors about that. There's nothing set in stone or anything.
Calgary is known for their Swedish defensemen.
Yeah, as far as I've seen, or just their Swedes in general, as far as I've seen, there hasn't been anything from insiders. It's more just something that people have noticed that he followed a lot of Flames players suddenly. But mind you, yeah, they are Swedish, so it could just be a home thing, right? But
could be, yeah.
Okay, who I wanted to just take a look at one player here, and I want to make sure. You know what? Okay. So we were talking about how we still need that right-handed defenseman as well, right?
Yeah.
And the whole joke was, oh yeah, you lost Rickard Rakell, who he re-signed in Pittsburgh as well. And you lost Josh Manson, right? So we got the replacement at least for Rakell, in a sense with Ryan Strome there. We don't have that defenseman yet though. However, somebody that might be willing to take a bit of a pay cut and play in a bit more of a mentorship type role that I think is still very usable. PK Subban.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought of him too.
Yeah, 33 sure. Right-hand shot, right-hand D there that could slot in. And on the depth chart there, right? Maybe instead of Mahura, or you throw him in on the left side, maybe, right? Because he's that right-hand shot and he's got that slap shot to him.
Yeah.
Replace like Benoit or something like that. So
yeah,
that could be interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Just an idea, throwing that out into the universe here. So
yeah. I mean, I don't think he's getting $9 million anymore.
No, he's not getting that anymore.
But fuck, I would pay PK Subban $6 million.
I'd go 5.
I mean, yes, ideally 5, but like we have the room, so like you could pay him $6 million.
Yeah, that's fair.
If we sign Subban and Klingberg, that would be huge.
I feel like it's one or the other.
It is, because they're both right shot, right D. But yeah, I don't know. Klingberg is more like the long term kind of guy. Like you could sign him for 5 years because he's only 29.
Yeah.
Hell, you could sign him for 6 years, take him till he's 35. That might be a little long, but it could get the dollar value down. Subban would be a short term one. Like I would have an issue signing him for more than 2 years. and I don't
I'd
know
say
if he would go
3
for
at
that.
max. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's 33.
And he's a little bit of a broken man. Little bit.
Yeah. I would prefer John Klingberg, but in terms of a mentorship role, Subban has a lot of value there, I think.
Yeah. That's fair.
So,
yeah. All right. Do we want to take a quick break before we talk everybody else's free agency for a couple minutes? I realize we're running very long today.
yeah, there's not really many teams I want to talk, like the 4 on here. Like, I don't even really have anything to say about them, but we'll definitely still talk about them. So, yeah.
There's at least 2 of those 4 that I want to talk about just because they did great, I thought.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So let's take a quick break here, catch our breath. And then on the other side, we'll talk a little bit more free agency. I actually do have a question in regards to general free agency for you, but we'll start with the other teams here. And then I have something very short for what's quacking. Like I said, it'll be an hour and a half to 2 hours. So
yeah.
wait for it, but it'll be worth it. I promise. I promise. Okay. See you guys in a little bit here.
Hey, hockey fans, I'm Breezy.
And I'm Ray Ray. We host the House of Hockey podcast on the Hockey Podcast Network.
We're lifelong hockey fans who talk about the game and the lifestyle. Our guests include professional hockey players.
My rookie party had to wear Speedo, and then we had a checklist of stuff we had to do.
Here we go, Gaber. What do you got to say? And it's kind of like, you know better than that now, boys.
I got dressed for the Bruins. Get a phone call. He's like, dude, we need you over here by the elevator. You got to get downstairs. You got to get dressed right now.
Started playing the like dun 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 dun, and I turned it around and it had the Olympic rings and said we did it.
NHL team hockey reporters.
I actually took the Stanley Cup to this ice bar where they've got now girls around them, and I've got a fur coat on.
I wonder who he shoot checked over here. And then I looked down at my feet.
Hockey fans.
The entire bar was lined with guys in Kings jerseys. We quickly realized, oh my gosh, this is the dad's trip.
And we bring unique hockey stories to light.
Coming back to England, 24 rings in the entire country. That's where the problem starts with the sport of ice hockey here.
Canadian Blind Hockey Association, those few kids we interviewed, their whole week is built around Sunday at the rink. They're just hockey players.
We don't agree on everything.
Pineapple goes on pizza.
No, it does not.
I think it does.
But we do agree that there are many people and places that build the House of Hockey.
New episodes every Tuesday. Come on in to the House of Hockey podcast on the Hockey Podcast Network.
All right. Who do you want to start with here?
Because I want to talk about them the least, just because of who they are, but we'll probably talk about them a decent amount. Let's start with the Edmonton Oilers.
Okay. Just because I saw Lauren asked it, we'll start with this guy here. Carter, since you like the Oilers, how do you feel about Jack Campbell? I'm excited because it's definitely an upgrade over Smith and Koskinen.
Okay. I'm glad you said it because I was about to.
Yeah. Like Smith was great last year and the year before. Like I have no issues with when he played. He was fantastic for us. Koskinen, I think, is a great goalie that unfortunately got paid too much money.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're the worst goalies on the planet, but at least with Jack Campbell, you are getting like what you paid for. Like you are getting a $5 million goaltender, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think that's too wrong. And I mean, one prospect that played a decent amount of games for you, and I was still really confused as to why he was not up with the club more often or for longer, I guess. Stuart Skinner, tandem of Skinner and Campbell. I mean, I messaged you and our buddy Adam in our group chat there, and I was like, honestly, I kind of look at that, and that's a little. That's a little intimidating, to be honest with you. I can see that working really well, but I feel like you have to play it as a tandem, right?
For sure.
So
and the GM of the Oilers, Ken Holland, did say that. He's like, I expect that it'll probably be 50-30-ish with Campbell taking about 50 games, Stuart Skinner getting about 30, which I think is reasonable. Like, Campbell's definitely earned 50 starts. I think the issue with him in Toronto is he was overplayed last year and burnt out a little bit, and they didn't have a solid backup to rely on.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's hard to not rely on Jack Campbell when your backup was Peter Mrazek, which, mind you, like he wasn't doing like he had some rough years before that, like not just because of play, but like last year was not too great. So
Yeah. And although Skinner hasn't played a ton in the NHL, I think he will be able to take on the 30-game role. So I'm excited for that. Evander Kane.
Yeah.
Sorry, did you have something else you wanted to say?
Yeah, I'm pulling up Stuart Skinner's stats right now because I think he played more than we all kind of realize.
Yeah, no, it's not like he's played 4 games or anything like that. Like he has proven himself at the NHL level, but it's not like.
Yeah, so he played 13 games, started 12 of them, 6-6-0, 2.62 goals against, and a .913 save percentage with a shutout in there.
That was the only shutout on the Oilers last year. In the regular season, I should say.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. And yeah, like it's average. It's league average for a rookie goaltender. So that's, I mean, I'm fine with it. But like you said, that's in 13 games. So
yeah, I just kind of wonder like what could be with a little bit more. So
yeah, exactly. So I'm excited.
And I mean, like we saw him play in junior as well. Like this is a guy with good potential here. So
yeah, and I think he's like 25. So like he is like overripe at this point. He might even be 26, honestly.
He should have been playing. He's 23.
Oh, really? Okay.
He's a late 90. He's a late 98.
Oh, okay. So, no, that's my bad. I thought he was a lot older. Okay.
He's like just getting ready to go, I think.
Okay, so it makes sense to bring him in at this point then. Okay. Evander Kane, I like that deal a lot. 4 years is fine for me. Like I know Evander Kane's had issues once he signs a long-term deal, but 4 years isn't bad, I don't think. And what was the cap hit? 4.25-ish?
Cap hit is 5.125.
Did I say 4.25?
Yeah.
I meant 5.25. So 5.125. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I did mean 5. I think that's fine. Honestly, like it's better than the 7 million people were projecting. Dude had insane chemistry with McDavid and Draisaitl, which is hard to come by. And like, honestly, honestly, the dude probably could have got 8 mil on the open market after what he did with McDavid and Draisaitl, and he probably could have got that from the Oilers, but the dude took a few mil less. So
now, okay, now this is where you kind of get into some of the more off ice stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, he maybe could have gotten that because of his production. Did anybody want to offer him that though because of off ice stuff?
The Capitals have been very interested in him since last offseason.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know that was something that got brought up of like the idea of like, oh, you know, he took it because he kind of realized that nobody wanted to really take the risk of it. So as great as the reward could be potentially, right? Like the risk kind of outweighed it. It was just kind of something that was going around at least. But yeah. And you know what? To not get too deep into the off ice stuff, I don't really agree with that a whole lot. The on ice stuff, yes, this is a good deal. I think it'll take him until he's 34. He made sure that he's not having a San Jose situation or anything like that. He's got a no move clause for the first 3 years, and then the fourth year as a modified no trade, which is a 16-team trade list. So he's eliminated half of the league that he could be traded to in the final year of his contract. So he's definitely given himself some more protection there in that sense. And I mean, like all the power to the players. So I'm a players first guy, but for on ice stuff, that's a good deal. So
for sure. Which is what I have to kind of separate the two.
And it's weird to almost call it like an underdog story or something like that, or like a bounce back story. And like I don't want to shit on the guy, right? I hope he can bounce back, and I hope he can, clean things up and clean up his act and everything like that. So because that'd be a brutal legacy to leave. So, but yeah, I'm hoping Edmonton, like the city at least, like gives him that chance. So
yeah.
While I may not agree with it, I do hope that he gets it. So kind of figures things out.
So yeah, that's kind of where I stand with that. I think pretty good offseason for Edmonton. I want to before we jump into some other teams, this is kind of the question I wanted to ask, just because it somewhat relates to the Oilers. But do you think any teams in the West actually improved this free agency? Because all the big names went out east. Johnny Gaudreau, DeBrincat, Giroux, Malkin. I mean, there's still like guys like Kadri and Klingberg who haven't signed yet, but like all the big names are out east. And I can't think of any big moves that happened in the West. Like, and I might be a little bit biased here, but I think Edmonton's really the only one that improved. And the only addition was Campbell. Kane's not really an addition, right?
I'd have to look into it a little bit more, but just off the top of my head, yeah, you're not too wrong about that.
Mm-hmm. And
again, off the top of my head, I'll have to follow up on that with you, but
yeah. And I mean, like, you could argue Anaheim improved, but like it's pretty hard to not improve when you're second last in the division. So
yeah. So
but like I mean, like, improved to the point where they're like taking a major step, you know?
Yeah.
Because in my mind, New Jersey took a big step. Ottawa took a big step.
Yeah.
Columbus took a big step. But I can't think of any Eastern or Western team that has.
It's hard to improve when you're already the best. So I'd say Colorado, maybe, just by like,
I guess, yeah,
being able to maintain that status quo for the most part. I'm trying to think around here. I don't think Minnesota really did anything.
No.
Chicago is a drastic step
yeah.
down. You want to talk about blatant attempt at tanking? Here we come. Chicago. Jesus Christ. I mean, I wanted Chicago to fall apart, but not in that sense. Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of teams here.
Yeah, exactly. Like the California teams like San Jose and LA haven't really done anything. Seattle hasn't really done anything. Like in
LA
like
was kind of status quo from what I can think of. San Jose traded off Brent Burns, which I don't think that got enough attention there. He went to Carolina.
No. Yeah. And see, that's another team that improved. Like Carolina's massive improvements with that trade alone. So
Vancouver kind of got stuck with their cap. Maybe them a little bit though.
Who have they signed?
I got Ilya Mikheyev, who could be decent in their middle six. That's a bump.
But like,
they were able to get Brock Besser back, so I know that's not an addition, but they were able to keep him a decent number for a few more years until their cap situation is a little bit better.
Yeah.
Calgary still has a lot of work before I think we can say anything about them specifically because they have both Tkachuk and Mangiapane to sign back, right? Tkachuk was a 100-point scorer. Mangiapane had 35 goals last year, which you don't just normally find that, especially in an RFA.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really think of much that Seattle did. They did really well in the draft, right?
Yeah.
We talked about that last week. Vegas just cap dumped with like Pacioretty and whatnot. Like,
yeah, which I think makes them worse. Like, I get that they had to do something, but that doesn't make sense to me.
And like, I know it's just a sorry, I'm trying to think of his name right now. I feel bad. Carlo from Vegas Nightly.
Yeah.
He had put out like a quick like lineup prediction like yesterday, right? Which it doesn't look horrible for Vegas. He's got Eichel, Stevenson, Stone, Carlson, Marchessault, Smith, which that line's been together since day one in Vegas.
Yeah.
Howden, Waugh, Brisson, and then Leishan, I think is from Buffalo, Kolzar and Carrier, and then back in Pietrangelo, Martinez, that's pretty good. Theodore McNabb, that's pretty good. White Cloud, Haig, and Leonard, Briswan, Thompson. But I look at that forward group now and I go, man, how the mighty have fallen.
Yeah.
So, and I remember a few years ago, and I will toot my horn on this, that, you know, Vegas was starting to get the reputation of we're just going to kick you out for the next best thing. Right. And we haven't seen it as much yet, but I feel like players, I feel like won't be as enticed to go there because yes, it'd be a great destination, but unless you're Pietrangelo getting a no trade clause throughout your entire 7 years, you're probably out in 3.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And I got laughed at when I said that at first and argued with.
hate to say I told you so, but it's kind of looking that way right now.
And
So
I mean, this year, like, I don't think they've done anything really. And to be fair, they haven't had the cap space to do it. So like, why would you be in on, say, Johnny Gaudreau when you don't even have $1 million to sign a bottom 6 forward with? Like, but like, they're not. I feel like not like people don't really want to go there now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm just kind of looking at Arizona. It was a lot more of the draft, and stuff like that. I can't think of anybody that they grabbed. Again, Chicago just went for the tank. Colorado's just trying to maintain status quo. Dallas, I can't think of anything.
No, and they're losing Klingberg, so that really makes them worse. Like, and then they signed like I think Blackwood or Wedgwood.
Wedgwood stayed for another 2 years there.
Yeah, and like that's it. So like it's very,
and they're losing Braden Holtby, but that's okay because they got Wedgwood.
Yeah.
Holtby's just too injured. He's not coming back this season. He's not retiring, but Nashville. Now they stuck with what they got, but that being said, it's an improvement at the same time by being able to keep Philip Forsberg, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because I feel like his potential, he hasn't reached his potential yet, which is scary as fuck.
yeah, it really is. Yeah.
St. Louis was kind of the same thing, like re-signing guys and whatnot. They were able to keep Robert Thomas around, which is good for them. That's the name that I can remember at least. And Winnipeg doesn't just really do a whole heck of a lot, in general. So, like just off the top of my head, again, I'd have to look into it a little bit more and see the actual moves that everybody made. But off the top of my head, from what I can remember, I think you're kind of right, actually, that the East really started to stock up and the West is like, oh, okay, we're here. So again, there's a few teams that still have to do some work with like RFAs and that sort of thing, and that'll definitely help out those teams.
Yeah, for sure.
But in terms of free agents, you're not wrong. But then again, there are some big names that are still on the board, like Nazem Kadri. Right.
Yeah, he could go anywhere out here.
And I feel like he might actually stay in the West. So whether that's
absolutely.
Colorado, if they make a couple moves to bring him in, or he has been tied to Calgary, but that's kind of been up in the air of what's going on there and whatnot. So there's potential there still.
Yeah.
But
so there's definitely options, and especially with how much space Anaheim has, and like trades can always happen too. So I think it will balance out, but right now it's just like, damn, I do not want to play in the East because that looks scary as fuck.
Okay, so there is one specific team I want to talk about in the East here.
Yeah.
All right, and I'm gonna lead into it with this tweet that I just saw from @Ava on Twitter. Stop saying that Canadian hockey teams aren't good. The Canucks have Pettersson. The Flames have Tkachuk #1. The Oilers have Draisaitl. The Jets can't get their shit together. The Leafs. The Sens have complete power over the entire country and Tkachuk #2. Now, it wasn't entirely just in free agency. They did pick up Claude Giroux, though. Mm-hmm. And even at his age, he's still putting up points. That's a damn good pickup, right?
And he's going to be a monster guy as like a mentor as well. But
exactly.
So like the deal alone is worth it for that, considering how young their team is. But then the points on top of that.
Yeah.
The points are just like a bonus at this point.
Now, I wonder if this is really a case. It's I feel like it's one of two things. Pierre Dorian suddenly learned how to be an NHL GM, or he had a very tight internal cap set on by Eugene Melnyk that his daughters and the board have just released on. Because that man went out for blood, basically. And damn good players, and got rid of some guys while doing it at the same time. So I'm just going to break down the 4 trades that he's made here that just helped improve this club. At draft day on the 7th there, we didn't really talk about this with Shane either. Like, we talked for a brief moment, but it was more, I think, in the Chicago area, if I'm remembering this even correctly. So yes, they gave up a 1st round pick in this year's draft and a 2nd and a 3rd in 2 years, but they got Alex DeBrincat,
which is a monster.
Not too bad.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
And then 4 days later, they were able to offload Matt Murray. They retained 25% of his salary, and they lost 2 picks for future considerations. So maybe that's depending on how you look at this, it might be a little bit better for Toronto. They get some.
I think it's still but it's a net win for the Senators, I think.
But you got rid of Matt Murray, which again, not to toot my own horn, but I was saying as soon as Pittsburgh picked Murray over Fleury, and trying to remove the Fleury fanboy aside here, that Murray was not the guy that everybody was thinking he was. I'm sorry, but I told you so. But that being said, though, I hope he can. That's another guy that I hope he can bounce back in Toronto, though, because I know he's had some personal issues, and that's kind of led into his game a little bit lately as well. I think it was the passing of his dad, I believe, like really hit him hard, and it affected his play and everything like that. I hope he can bounce back and that sort of thing. But from the look of it here, Ottawa managed to get out of that, and Dorian got out of his own bad deal potentially.
Yeah, it was a rough couple days when Murray was. It was known that he was being shopped around, and Toronto and Edmonton were both in on Murray. I was like, please God, no. just please no.
Oh my God. That would have been me starting to laugh at you and Adam a bit.
That was the worst part of that. Like, if I had never met you in my life, I probably could have handled Murray being an Edmonton Oiler. But just because I know I have to see you like quite a lot in my life, like at least a couple times a week, I have to interact with you. I know you would never let me forget about that. So
that's incredible. And then, okay, yes, they maybe gave up some youth, but they got a quality goaltender to replace the not quality in Matt Murray. Bringing in Cam Talbot. Yes, they gave up Philip Gustafson to do it. That's another one where it kind of works for both sides, actually. Ottawa gets a solid goaltender out of it, who, yes, he's maybe a little bit older, but he's good, right? He led Minnesota for the majority of last year, which it also came out later that Talbot didn't want to be moved out of Minnesota.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's going to be fun. Definitely watch out for Minnesota versus Ottawa. 2 years ago, would we have been saying that? What the fuck?
Yeah.
And Minnesota gets Philip Gustafson. They shed some cap, right? Because they're about to be in cap hell. They shed off almost $3 million. And they get a young, pretty good goaltender out of it as well for the future. So there you go. There's kind of a win there, and he'll back up Marc-Andre Fleury or tandem with him. And it'll be all right there. So I thought that was a good deal for both sides, honestly. And then a day later after that, they acquired a 2nd-round pick from Washington and offloaded Connor Brown. So Dorian's done some tidy work over the last little bit here. And my favorite part, though, so in the States, obviously, coverage was like ESPN and the hockey or the NHL network. And in Canada, it's primarily Sportsnet. My favorite thing about free agency day was right away, for like one of the first deals announced, is Claude Giroux to the Ottawa Senators. And the entire panel is talking about, man, how great the Ottawa Senators have improved over the last week. While Pierre Maguire sits right there in the middle of the fucking panel, having to listen to it all. It was fantastic. I loved it. Okay, so it was during because Pierre Maguire is also on the Sportsnet panel for the draft, right? Like for day one and that sort of thing. And he came on this, he appeared on the screen, and my girlfriend's like sitting there watching a bit of the draft with me. She just got home as well. And I just go, man, Pierre Dorian really does look like a penis. And she's just
Pierre Maguire,
or Pierre Maguire, sorry, who did I say? Pierre Dorian?
Yeah.
But yeah, Pierre Maguire really does look like a penis. And like my girlfriend's just like, no, he doesn't. I was like, no, he straight up looks like a penis.
If you put a hoodie on that guy and pulled the strings, penis.
That's a guy that you're in the room with him and you're like, hey, you want to play the penis game?
He's like, do you say my name?
but while we do it, we got to just stare at him. Oh, man. Yeah.
But Last thing about the Senators here. How's this for a top 6?
Well, sorry, one more thing. You want to talk about offloading for the sake of your franchise? Pierre McGuire, Jesus Christ. As soon as Eugene Melnyk was gone, Pierre Dorian's like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. But how's this for a top 6? Brady Tkachuk, Josh Norris, who, by the way, 8 years, $7.95 million.
That'd signing. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
That is
about that one.
That is going to be a sick deal in a few years.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
But Brady Tkachuk, Josh Norris, Claude Giroux, Alex DeBrincat, Tim Stützle, and Drake Batherson is your top 6.
Fuck me. And
you
fuck
have
anybody that hasn't played the Ottawa Senators.
Yeah. And you have 4 of those 6 guys signed like long term. Tim Stützle is a RFA next year. DeBrincat is an RFA the year after, but he's already making $6.4 million. So like,
yeah,
you can keep that if you want for a couple of years.
Jeez,
that's sick.
And then you just kind of build around that over like the next year or two, right? You still have the entire offseason, and your back end it could be a little bit better, but Thomas Chabot and Travis Hamonic, as it's looking right now, Eric Brandstrom, Artem Zub, and Nick Holden with Nikita Zaitsev. But your goalies,
I've seen worse defense.
Yeah, but your goalies are not that bad, actually. Cam Talbot and Anton Forsberg.
Those are solid.
That could be all right.
Oh, excuse me.
So
yeah. Okay.
You can make that work. You can definitely make that work.
For sure.
And okay, last thing, because I know we're running late here.
Yeah.
Just very, very, very quickly. Fuck the Pittsburgh Penguins and anyone who's a fan of them, that you're allowed to just enjoy having your core 3 players for their duration of their careers. Fuck you for that.
Yeah.
It'd be nice.
Yeah. Oh, Letang's going to hit free agency. No, we figured it out. We signed him. Malkin's going to hit free agency tomorrow.
Exactly. No, just kidding. Just kidding. There was a great meme that I saw that was like Crosby holding a gun, like at like the idea was like supposed to be at Malkin, and just, you're testing my fucking patience here, Evgeny. You know what to do.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's yeah, I mean, that's
we didn't even get into Johnny Gaudreau in Columbus.
No.
As a Flames fan, again, all the power to the players. I understand it, wanting to be closer to home and everything like that. It definitely feels a lot more like a breakup, right? Any Flames fans that are mad at Johnny Gaudreau and that sort of thing, definitely go check out like the Tim and Friends interview that they had today. Gaudreau is on the verge of tears, like talking about Calgary and everything like that. So that city does mean a lot to him, and that was definitely a hard decision. I don't think he left the Flames in the dust. And you know what though? Going into this that there's a potential that he goes, right? If you're the Calgary Flames and you don't have a plan B, that's on you.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about that.
And if you think about the alternative too, like even if Johnny Gaudreau said at the beginning of this season, I'm not re-signing, I want to move closer to home. So we're not talking extension. I don't want to re-sign. This season will be my last in Calgary. Even if he did say that, if you're Brad Treliving, are you trading Gaudreau at the deadline when your team is first in the Pacific?
Okay, not at the deadline. If he says that before the season, though, yes, you're trading him then because of how the year before went, I think.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's kind of what I meant. Is like we're talking
trade
like
deadline
November,
though,
December,
absolutely none. Anybody who's saying that they should have shipped him off because he was a U of A, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's not going to happen.
No,
like the Flames realistically had a chance to go to the conference finals this year, and like unfortunately they suck too much to be able to do that. And Johnny Gaudreau disappeared in the playoffs like he always does. So kind of net win for the Flames if they want to win a cup in the next few years. But I digress. Like it's like I don't get like I don't get like if Johnny Gaudreau was an Oiler or a Duck and he left the way he did, I can't imagine myself being mad. And it's different than the John Tavares situation because John Tavares was like, I like being an Islander. I want to be an Islander. I want to re-sign here. Oh, I'm going to hit the open market. See you later. like it was like total change of narrative. But like with Johnny Gaudreau, it's like I want to be closer to home. I'm not really in it to like just make as much money as I possibly can. Like
the guy left 15 to 17 million on the table.
Yeah. So and
not
that's
many people do
yeah.
that.
No, and like so when I see people tweeting and they're like, I can't believe that he wanted to be closer to home and then took a 15 million pay cut to not play in Philadelphia. Yeah. It's like, yeah, but his money didn't matter to him. He wanted to play not in Calgary and not in Canada and not in the
not
Western
that far
States.
away. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's weird to me.
Yeah, I don't, and just to like, I know this isn't what you meant, and I don't think it's a not in Calgary. It's just a not that far away. Kind of thing.
So, yeah.
But
I did see a funny meme though of it was like a leaked picture of Johnny Gaudreau's like teams that he was interested in. It was supposed to be like to his agent, and it was a list of all 32 NHL teams, and it was one big circle. And then when you get to Calgary, it like avoided it, and it was just like every other team was circled. Yeah. So I thought that was funny. But.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna throw one fact correction at you, and then we can get into the really quick what's quacking here. Johnny Gaudreau was not invisible last year in the playoffs. 14 points in 12 playoff games.
Okay. Well, I didn't notice him. It was a very quiet 14 points.
So fuck you.
Okay. I know that you're hurting, so
I do still need a Columbus jersey. It may be a Gaudreau jersey. As much as that'll hurt, it may be a Gaudreau jersey.
Wild.
And I don't, and you know me, I prefer to get blanks.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here is a very quick what's quacking. Unless there was someone else you wanted to talk about.
No, that's good for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I talked about the 4 teams I wanted.
This for those not watching and just listening, this was on CBC News Calgary. I don't know when, probably I think tonight.
Yesterday, I think
it was yesterday.
Yeah. As soon as I saw it, like in the bottom here for us, I knew exactly where you're gonna pull. So that's why I just started laughing.
So this is perfect segue here.
And that's the news for now. I'll be back here at 11 unless a news station in Columbus offers me way less money. And I'll probably go do that. Here's your 5-day forecast.
The reporter himself also tweeted out that clip.
That's funny. And I mean, it's probably just a joke. Yeah. I would like to imagine.
I forget. There was another thing that he had said that he was going, that he had made a joke about with this thing. I don't remember what it was, but it was another Flames related thing. It's not the first time he's done that.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's good to have a sense of humor like that.
Yeah. I was laughing at it.
Yeah. Well, I think that wraps up this episode. Like we said, very brief what's quacking, but I think it's worth it to stick around for that because I think it's hilarious. I personally love the fact that Gaudreau didn't re-sign in Calgary, but that's just me personally. So
I'm hurting. Leave me alone.
Yeah. So Nate, before you go off to Columbus, where can people contact you?
Well, you can find me on my deck this summer. We're going to take a little bit of a break from the show. So there's that. You can find me on my deck if you really need to get to me. Otherwise, you can find me on Twitter at Tatenhomas, TateNhomas.
I got to ask, was that beer, has it just been sitting on your deck? Your desk for the last 2 hours?
If it's been on my deck, it's even hotter at that point.
Yeah.
No, I had, so I did have one on the desk for a little bit, but I swapped it out with another one in my fridge when we did the House of Hockey break.
Oh, okay.
So it is still cold actually, and I am going to enjoy it.
Nice.
So
nice.
I don't drink too often, but I'm just going to enjoy this drink right now.
Yeah. I guess as you alluded to, we're going to be taking a couple weeks off here. So we will be moving back to Wednesdays for our live stream, 7 p.m. Pacific time for those. And our next episode will be August 3rd. So we'll be taking about 2.5 weeks off, 2.5 weeks.
This is the first like normal off season or close to normal off season that we've had during like our entire time of this show. So we need a bit of a break.
Yeah.
I love talking hockey and that, but I need a break.
Yeah.
So you can blame me if you want.
No, I feel the same way. So yeah, we'll be gone for a couple weeks. And then we'll do that, and then we'll go from there. But yeah,
sorry. That being said, though, and I know you're about to plug Twitter and that sort of thing, but keep an eye on Twitter because this episode is 199 for us. We're about to hit 200,
And when we hit 100, we did a listener episode, right? We brought a bunch of you on and just talked and hung out for a bit. And I think we want to do that again. So that August 3rd episode, it will be a listener episode, and we'll reach out, like we'll do the invite and whatnot again. So be sure to keep your eyes on Twitter, turn on tweet notifications or that for us, so you'll be one of the first in on it. So we'll maybe make it a contest again or something like that. So
for sure. So yeah, you can do that at Quack Report Pod on Twitter as well. We're on Instagram, same handle there, and Twitch at Quack Report Pod, where you can catch live streams of every episode. The Quack Report is what you can search on YouTube to find us there. And my keyboard's still not working.
Oh, no.
Music, but that's okay. Honestly, at this point, I probably won't even bother fixing it because I'm expecting a phone call from the Columbus podcast here. And you can find out when I move over to them at Carter_Potts, POTTS_97. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. Nice. I like it.
There we go. We got something at least.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. This has been the Quack Report. Catch you guys later.